sounds, to a lot of the listeners like, my God, what is this woman trying to get to? Is she going nuts or something? But I'm stating things that you guys, okay, you're wanting to ask. I know you are.
It's okay
and I'm just trying to be the voice of many out here to whether, even if it makes any difference, as a host, I'm still trying to be the voice of many, asking these types of questions to get all of you guys. Red Elk don't have the answer. I don't have the answer. The only one that's got the answer is the creating mind that is dreaming up this. But the thing is, it's good for us to us being on this earth plane is a learning experience for either us or somebody. So, open up your minds, ask questions, and learn, experience.
Yeah, don't be afraid to think. Be a free thinker. That's called purity.
Yeah. So anyhow, Ted says you come close to the knowledge and the illusion of the matrix of this life. Or come close to the knowledge and the illusion of the matrix of this earth. Life is a hologram. So you come close to the possibility to act with this knowledge, and then you create by yourself your own hologram, which is 4D. Or it's being created in the 4D, whatever the 4D is. Oh, it's a mess. And I deal with this daily, because I'm working, trying to understand these portals and these multi-dimensions and, how we are an energy that links to another energy, which it links to another, creating that one. Because we are in an illusion, how do you grasp reality out of an illusion? I don't know.
Because Dad has given you the ability to be as He without being Him.
Yeah.
That's how. He's given us a tremendous gift in this thing that we call life. And again, even the angels admire us. They envy us.
Well, I don't know why. It seems like they're driving the vehicle. It's not us.
Not they.
No.
Just,
well, you said the Nagual is an angel. Okay.
An angel, but,
and I do remember reading something about that the angel has to come through man in order to experience the higher level. They cannot get to that level unless they come through us first. So I imagine you're right, about the Nagual being, coming, that we do have the Nagual in us. But, it's just that, I just don't agree with this free will thing because of the fact that no one, I just think that people, should, I don't know, there would be no free will if a person says, I don't want that Nagual, because that Nagual is going to come whether they want it or not.
Well, honey, it's not a matter of, it's going to come whether you want it or not. You're born with it, and it won't leave until you're done here.
Yeah.
But it is not allowed to interfere with your life. It's hoping by dreams and gut feelings and accidents that it can get your notice and saying you're out of step with that.
See, and I can understand, like a lot of these people, they might think this way, that you're talking about, as far as, well, it's all the Nagual, okay? Now, these people are at a higher level. I can see these people like the Bushes and all these people that say, I can do anything I want to do on this because it's not my experience. It's the Nagual's experience, Well, so I'm sin free. I'm sin free because, I'm not the controller of myself. It's the Nagual.
That, honey, is just an excuse to do what they damn well please.
Well, but I can see people using that.
Oh yes.
Saying that there is no
self-condemnation.
Yeah. Taking responsibility for one's actions.
Honey, the fact is, there isn't a one of us that I'm aware of, including myself, that doesn't at some time, and some do it all the time, point their fingers at everybody but themselves.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying, you're the only one responsible for you. And you are the only one, the only I am. And you can change the events and yourself and everything around you. My gosh, I've literally, honestly, literally shapeshift. I did and do. And if I can do it, and look, I put my pants on like any other.
Well, I think everyone, I honestly believe everyone shapeshifts. It's just that we have been so conditioned not to see the shifting or the shape-shifting that we don't see it. I mean, I go out there all the time and photograph people disappearing in front of my very eyes. But, you know, according to the camera, they're not there. But I see them. You know, because my mind, our brains have been conditioned to see things according to what someone has told us. I totally believe that there's aliens out walking all around us, different types of entities, you know, that are just like, you know, so, you know, I mean, fairies, trolls, everything you can think of all around us. We just don't see it.
Yeah,
you know, so I mean, you know, so they all put their pants on the same way, even because we're all the same. We've all, Christ told us, every one of us, with no exception, has the same abilities. All we have to do is have the belief of a mustard seed.
And unfortunately, most of the Indian world that I'm aware of, especially in the States, say, no, this is our sacred knowledge and secrets, and you can't have it.
Exactly. Exactly, and it's not just the Native Americans. It's you know, the secret societies. It's I see it with the psychics. I see it with faith healers. I see it with, you know, it's like, I got it. You can't have it because I'm special. And it's like, get over it, guy.
And I want everybody to be aware you can have it.
Exactly. It's like, get over it, guy. We already have it. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
I've done things that aren't written about in the Bible, but the Bible does cover it.
Yeah.
Even more so will you do than I, for I am with you. And I've done some of those more so's, but to date, I've never used the things that I've learned in a wrong manner.
Yeah.
You know, I can turn around and do all kinds of sorcery, using the same identical things that I've used for good.
Yeah.
And those in sorceries can stop it and do just good if they want to. And but we're all born with it.
Yeah.
When you're born with the inborn knowledge that there's one God and only one God, you're born as God with a little g. You're born with all his knowledge except how to be him himself.
Yeah. Well, we're part of him.
That's
it's like looking at your hand, okay, and your little finger, and saying, you know, well, that finger isn't part of me. That isn't me.
Well,
of course it's you.
I still got my toe in the refrigerator.
Well, sure.
Because it is part of me.
And so, I mean, anyone with any thoughts whatsoever should realize that we are all God. Just like my finger is Mary. My toe is Mary. You know, the atoms in me are Mary. You know, the electrons are Mary. Of course, naturally, we are God.
Hadn't thought them into being. You know, you're his daydream.
Well, exactly. That's what I'm saying. We are his dreams.
That's right.
That's exactly all we are.
And he said, look, you're my dream, and I give you the ability to dream. Use it for good. Holy mackerel, use it for good if you can, but he gives you free will to use it as you want. He gave you Lucifer, so you would have free will to do as you want. It's a pretty wonderful God we got there.
Well, I think what we all need to do is start getting stronger in ourselves. You know, we're at a time right now where you're either going to get it or you're not. You know, and if you feel like you're starting to get it, then best thing to do is start concentrating on it and getting stronger within yourselves instead of relying on anyone to give it to you, because you have got to start, every one of you guys out there has got to start growing.
Remember,
and being confident in yourself.
That is done, as you hear.
Well, I'm not saying take the side of God. I'm not talking about taking the side of Satan. I'm talking about getting strong within yourself.
There you go.
You know,
it's
so that
it's okay. You're right. And hopefully that you do it in the side of love, and not for self. I'll make this man or this woman love me, and for self reason. And so that's sorcery in its own way. And that's why in the Inner Hyoka we always talk to Papa, and we always ask him, what do you want done? And then we shut up and listen.
Okay.
So we don't step out in self.
Ted turns around and writes, it is the way how we look at the things around us. They're called like programs. If you are free of them, we can look really with the eyes God gave us. And then we do not need outer eyes, but we can use our inner eyes. Then he says, if Brad would say 100 times to you, you are a princess and living in a castle, you finally will believe it. If we are cut off till this time from the belief who we are, or can we, whoops, I can't read that one.
Or what we can do, or whatever.
Yeah, but anyhow, in answer to that, if Brad would say 100 times to you, you're a princess and living in the castle, you'd finally believe it. To Ted, aren't I a princess? Aren't I living in a castle? I thought I was. I don't need Brad. In other words, I don't need Brad to tell me I'm a princess and I live in a castle. I tell myself. I don't need Brad to. I don't need anybody to tell me who I am. I know who I am. You know?
Yeah.
And that's how every one of you guys got to get tough,
and guess what?
get mad.
If
you know,
live in a dump and you're comfortable, you're in your castle, and you have every right to.
You create it. You create where you live. You create everything around you according to what you think of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
I'll go with that.
You know, and it's like with me, I know where I'm going when I die. I've already created it. I've created, my dad promised me a long time ago, before he died, he was going to take me to the Rock Candy Mountain. Okay, so I know that Dad didn't die because I haven't gotten there yet. But I know that when I go wherever, when I cross over, I'm going there because I have taken the time to create that place in my mind.
And Mary
and that's exactly where I'm going to go.
She's going to get fat licking all that candy.
It's okay because I've already took care of that in my creation too. I'll never get fat.
Oh, okay.
All
right.
So I've got this all taken care of.
Deep hole, honey, for your outhouse.
Yeah.
But yes, it really boils down to that, Mary. You're right.
Yeah.
I want you people to understand. Think as an ant thinks. The smallest little tiny ant that you can imagine. Not a baby, but an ant. And, you walk by as a human, and here you are the ant. And what is it? The earth shakes, the clouds, the sun is blotted out for a few minutes, a moment. You lay down, and you, the ant, crawl on you. How much of you does that ant see? Not enough to comprehend the all.
Yeah.
And frankly, this whole thing that we call Earth, everything on it, is smaller than a neutron in an ant's body.
Yeah, I've often wondered that or thought that myself.
We really are. We think we're big. We know the elephant's big, and it knows it's big, and yet it's all thought. It's simply all thought, and you as an ant think that you're big. And sure, there's bigger monsters around you, anteaters and bugs that you got to watch out for. But you're pretty big. You're a big people. You're an ant people.
Yeah.
And but it can't comprehend you as a human. It can't see that one.
Well, I look at it too like the analogy of I was driving by a lake one time and I thought about the fish. The fish has not a clue of us here. We know the fish in the pond are there, but they don't. I mean, they're in their own little world doing their own little things. They don't know about us driving by, in our cars and talking. So, I mean, to me, when I realized that there could be so many other things going on around us, but, we're in our little bubble, just like the fish are in their bubble, and this is what we see. And then there's other people in their bubble, that's around us that we don't see, and they, but it just keeps going on and on and on and on.